Initiating match.
Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Overwatch NACE. What Baker? Okay, I don't know how to enter this. Hold on. Palms are sweaty. Palms are sweaty. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Overwatch NACE NACE thing that we're doing here. We got St. Clair College versus Northwood. My stream director just kind of threw this on me, so we're going. But yeah, we're getting right into this. So what's interesting about this map is that we're playing on a capture the point type of map. I hope I said that correctly. But we're just having a good. No, Baker, you're good. We're just having a good time. We're just having a good chill time. I'm not in a suit, as you guys can tell. We're just kind of chilling the heck out, and we're just gonna watch some good old Overwatch. And if you guys want to vibe with me, then we can vibe. But let's jump right into this match here as we look over at Northwood versus St. Clair. Once again, this is for NACE, so this is going to be really cool to see these two teams clash off. Of course, St. Clair really powerful within their own defense, but on the point already, you have Reinhardt that's getting himself into a little bit of shenanigans as he does get flame striked. But Prince Wada going to grab two for himself as he looks over towards this right-hand room and just starts to wipe through the competition. As Crypto as well ends up taking out one, Seymour, Prince Wada with two more for themselves as they immediately make a really good impact within NACE. But if we take a look at the ultimates that are available, definitely Prince Wada is going to have his because he just got like a quad kill, like a triple kill or something like that. So of course he's going to have his ultimate available. But we continue to look at what Northwood are doing. They didn't really switch up their comp too much. Well, they did, I guess, bring in a Doomfist, but what exactly does that offer into the roster? I'm not too sure. We're going to have to see as we continue to go. But on the point itself, the Mei wall just going to stall out the opponents as it's usually Crypto's job to do so. And Jub actually ends up going down, which is kind of interesting. But we do have the ultimate that came out from Reinhardt, and he does end up pinning up a frozen up Reinhardt. But in the backline, Justin does grab one kill for himself, but the rest of the squad of St. Clair are going down as well. So that's really going to be it as well. Colin does get one kill for his troubles, but that's all she really wrote for St. Clair's defense at the moment. As we take a look at this next push that St. Clair are doing, still Seymour having his ultimate available. Prince Wada ended up using his, which was not questionable. It did end up picking up one kill for themselves, but there you go. Graviton Surge now being used onto the point, and that's Doomfist. He's dead. He's absolutely gone as well. A failed Mei wall being initiated here on the point itself does stall out a little bit of time, but Jub is going kind of crazy on the point itself, trying to get one kill for himself, and he does, as he's now in the backline. He's trying to get onto the Ana as well as the Doomfist that's back there. However, he's going to get punched in the face, but he does get all of the healing in the world now on 70 HP, and he still is slicing and dicing and everything nice, and as he does end up eliminating all of his opponents. And Crypto, just kind of give him a little bit of a high five as he does so. Still heading into this next push that's coming out of Northwood. St. Clair have captured the point itself and are now slowly converging on the point as that defensive type of team. We also do have the ultimate that comes out of Hanzo very soon, but it's just going to be the Doomfist to start this all off. Is it going to get anyone? Yeah, it's going to get Crypto, even though Crypto could have went into his ice form. It's not going to do it just yet, as two end up going down over on the side of St. Clair. Actually, make that three. Why not? Maybe one more while we're at it. But Sojin is absolutely dominating here on the Brig, but that's just going to be the rest of Northwood kind of cleaning up the point itself. And they're just trying to do the most here as we try and look to see who is kind of the clear runner in this round in particular. So far, it is St. Clair, as they do have 84% for themselves, but Northwood, they got to start watching out for the different potentials that they have, because Northwood is so far, they're channeling up a whole lot of percent on the point. They've also taken down Imp, which is massive. Getting any sort of pick before the push to try and catch out any stragglers is also really good too. But Seymour does have Graviton Surge if he wants to use that at any point. But we do have the Flux. I think that's what that's called. Something Flux. Can't remember what it's called. is going to get used. Doesn't really do anything too much, but Graviton Surge now being used here on the point. Prince Wada with 2, Jub with 1 more, and Crypto. Just gonna kind of finish off the rest of that push with 2 more for himself, as the point is still going to be taken by St. Clair. And now their percents are starting to slowly go up here on the point. Now at 90%, just 10 more percent until we say hello to the next game, or to the next round. But continuing going on here, Sleep Dart does go out, doesn't really hit anyone, but still all good because Prince Wada has a big old hammer. But in the back line itself, it's a 1-for-1 trade at the end of that little skirmish, as Justin does take out his sharp shooting type skills. Prince Wada as well takes 1. There's constant 1-for-1s all across the board. Justin actually popping off in his own regard as well. But now on the point itself, it's overtime for St. Clair. They're trying their hardest to keep this point alive. Justin actually ends up picking up 3. So Jub ends up going down. Justin is crowned the new DPS player as well. The rest of Northwood does have an advantage for themselves, which is just kind of taking the point. Justin still not actually going down just yet, as he does almost end up eliminating, I believe, the Doomfist there. But he still stays alive, and a trade of kills once again go on to the point itself, as Justin still trying to apply the poison to his opponents. Prince Wada does take out 1, and he also lands a big ol' hammer smash on the ground. Imp, Justin both with kills for themselves, but got the flux coming out of Phineas, which is more specifically the Sigma, and Jub is now going absolutely crazy in the back line of the point. With the rest of Northwood now converging onto the point itself, we have the full-on take from St. Clair as well. The overtime clock has gone down, and St. Clair has taken the point itself pretty decisively. Not decisively. No, it was actually a pretty good round. Northwood, this is probably the biggest challenge that St. Clair has had so far within their NACE run, where Northwood actually got pretty close within that round, but St. Clair were able to form up, come together as a squad, and wait even for the stragglers. There was one point where Imp ended up going down like mid-match, and St. Clair could have very easily engaged without him. But no, they wanted to wait for the straggled support, if you want to call it that, in order to come back into the match. But we do have a brand new round. That was a little bit of a mic peek. But we do have a brand new round coming into this one, as St. Clair is up 1-0 in this best of 3 action. They're looking to close out this round decisively. We'll see if they could do it, as the start of the round is now starting. And it's a massive flank that's coming through from St. Clair. They've faced against this strat before in the past. I don't think they've ever done it on the stream, at least from what I've seen. So this is really cool, is that they're kind of allowing their opponents to have the point for the first little bit, try and get any sort of DPS onto the opponents, and then look for the 1 straggler. However, it's a 1-for-1 trade at the end of this little skirmish, as now we're looking for more that comes out of St. Clair. Jub is in the back line, not able to take any damage for himself, but not also able to deal any sort of fatal blows to his opponents, but he's still constantly in the back line. No one wants to really deal with him, as Seymour and Prince Wada are in the front line, trying to disrupt everything tank related. Stuff is starting to go across now finally, as wow, that was huge. What was that? There was a massive knockdown on the field, but I don't think Wada had his ultimate, or maybe he did, as he does have 90% now for himself, so that was probably the big old hammer down that came through from Wada. But that was like a 5-man shatter. That was insane. But Jub, for our troubles, slices in, slices out, and then goes right on back to his usual, as he is now back on the point itself, now resetting for the rest of his team, as the rest of St. Clair have already taken 20% on this point. Still constantly trying to look for advantages for themselves within these rounds, and they're definitely doing so, as they have taken down multiple members over on the side of Northwood. But Jub is finally in the back line using his ultimate here. Does get stunned up, but is very easily kind of comes back to life. That's not really the saying that I want to use there, but oh, that was pretty sick. That was pretty cool, actually. You tried to shoot him with an arrow, but the deflect came through, and Jub takes down 3. And now it has St. Clair over at 50%. Gonna just recall for the time being. Walks right on back into the point itself. And now with slow progression coming down here on the field, St. Clair have constantly found advantages, and they're trying to find one more as Reinhardt does capture himself, but also Graviton Surge going to be going out, and it does take down 2. Jub was the one in the back line that was not seen whatsoever. He takes down 4, but he's looking for one more, and Prince Wada is going to steal his kind of 6-tupled kill. As they once again, they end up resetting back onto the point. Still, Northwood with 0% on the point itself, so St. Clair just kind of needed one round to get all prepared, get all ready, get the comms all together. And now still they are doing the absolute most here in this round. That's interesting that Hanzo ended up killing himself. But the Blizzard does go out. Crypto now with 1 ends up actually taking out a couple more. Jub has his ultimate reset already. It almost kind of, it felt like he got it so incredibly fast there. But on the point itself, it's only a Brig and a Dream, as well as a Hanzo in the back line. I believe Hanzo is not dead. Wait, no, Hanzo's not dead just yet. But hammer down just to finish off that round as St. Clair. Hey, they do finally take their first game. Not bad. Yo, Crypto already saying in chat, what map? They're trying to get this going, man. They want to go. Let's look at Jub here, the play of the game. This was so cool. Is that the rest of his, I think his team was kind of stunned up for a little bit. But, no, the rest of the, or yeah, they did. It was, they got stunned up for a bit with the Sigma ult, but I think they're all good. Anyways, if you guys are tuning into the stream, thank you so much for tuning in. We are still going on with some St. Clair NACE action. Of course, I am solo casting, but it's all good because solo casting is a vibe. It's a vibe because you kind of get personal with the chat. If there's any chatters, hey, don't be afraid to speak up. But other than that, some pretty good stuff going on here as we just try and set up for this next match. We want to wait to see what type of map it is. I like how St. Clair are just trying to get through this series as fast as possible because they realize that they're just so incredibly dominant. So whatever team they almost kind of faced, they just end up destroying their competition. So this is kind of another one that we're going to be watching here. That's going to be played. Is that Hollywood, or did Hollywood get subbed out? I'm not sure. I can't see from this angle, but it's all good. We just get to watch to see if St. Clair are going to try and pull through here and 2-0 sweep because they've been doing so far. It's Havana. Okay, cool. I don't know what that map actually looks like, so big old noob. I searched up Havana and the Camila Cabello song came up. Overwatch. There we go. Oh, I know this map. Okay, we're good. But yeah. Definitely an escort map, right? Where you escort the payload. The last time we actually saw St. Clair play on this, where they were playing on defense, they kept the opponents right at the door of their spawn for like the most of the match. But now we are going to be entering this match as we take a look at Ivana, and we get to see what Northwood have been cooking up here on this map in particular. Of course, this is an escort map, and if you guys are new to Overwatch for any reason, then an escort map is you just simply escort a payload, and you have to get it to 3 main locations. The first one being this double door setup right here, and then as we go through the map, we can see a little bit more. But we got to take a look at Zenyatta's, what is that, cousin, uncle, dad? I don't know. Ooh, the cinematic shots. T-tours, baby. But let's take a look at the comps. I know that Seymour has been playing a whole lot of D.Va, at least in past weeks, and he's finally able to pull it out once again, which is obviously really cool. But Torbjorn was actually the one that kept their opponents in previous weeks at the door itself. They were playing the Torbjorn. They were playing the D.Va, and Prince Wada on his specialty. Reinhardt is the only thing that we really need to see here. But let's take a look at this different setup. Yeah, the turret setup is massive on the side. One thing I actually didn't know is that they took away Torbjorn's ability to just I guess upgrade a turret by himself. But hey, right off the bat, there you go. That's the good old St. Clair faction. keep your opponents at the door and then just start to rotate between the right and left side. Take care of the right side, and if you do, then your opponents are probably going to be going through the left, and that's exactly what Prince Wada is able to do here with a whole lot of damage inside of the enemy base. So far, I've only gotten 2 kills for themselves, but they continue to reset and continue to try and spawn camp these opponents. They're going to try and do so for the next 3 minutes, so buckle up, because St. Clair are in it for the long haul. It would be so cool too if we get to see a base hold come through from St. Clair, and all they have to do is move it literally 1 meter across. That'd be fun. But so far, a lot of kills that are going in the favor of St. Clair. Now they see that the Bastion is there to try and counter what St. Clair have going on, but luckily there is a blue truck right in front that is just helping out a whole lot, and Bastion also ends up going down as well, as Northwood are just up against the wall and they literally cannot do anything because the payload has not moved just yet. You do have May that had tried to snipe Jub's turret, which is good, but he's got another turret in his back pocket. So what did that really matter? What did that really do? Nothing. Now we get to see the reset come through from St. Clair, as already a minute has gone down, as now they are still looking for their picks, and they have found one onto the enemy May. Jub still going down. Seymour kind of having a little bit of fun on top of this roof in particular, as he is now looking for his opponents. He does skyrocket up to the sky itself, as he is now looking for the opponents and what they are able to provide here on this map. He does get nanoed as well. What is that able to provide for the time being? Nothing too much, as he does have his Diva Bomb. He is going to use that in front of his opponents so that they have to kind of focus on multiple things at once. Does take down the shield, but Hammer Down also goes down from these guys. The Jub just laying down all this fire on the ground itself, as Prince Wada still getting 1 kill for himself. Seymour now with 1 more. Farah has taken down 2 casualties for the time being, as now finally Northwood is doing just a little bit for themselves in terms of rezzing, getting into the back line, and just trying to do as much damage to your opponents as possible. And there you go. They have finally moved the payload with 130 remaining. You also have a Graviton Surge just to take down Yustin and Baby Seymour, but Imp is in the battle as well, and he might want to go in and suicide, or he might want to go in and just go back to base. But Crypto is playing a perfect position for himself, as he does take down 1. Jub has also switched to his patented Widowmaker. He's done well on it in the past. He's also kind of flopped on it sometimes, but it could be really cool to see him pop off here. Blizzard has been activated on the point to allow Jub to hit his shots a lot easier here on Widow, as he does hit 1, 2, third shot is about to come through, as he does take down 1 Imp. Crypto ends up going down, but Jub and Imp do take 1 apiece for themselves, as they now have to deal with the Farah, as it is very close quarters between him and Farah, just trying to snipe shoot his opponent. It's not going to be able to do it, as in close quarters Farah is not fun to deal with whatsoever. However, there is 30 seconds until the game is almost over, at least if St. Clair want to stop them on this push. They do have 1 more push available for themselves, because they're now all coming back up. However, that is not good whatsoever. Seymour going down is obviously not good, but they have now pushed the payload to a safe position, and of course you can go very over aggressive if you want to. However, Ryan does get nanoed in this process and does also get taken out, but Jub is on that right hand side as well. Crypto is on this point, just trying to stall this out as best as possible. Seymour now ends up securing 1 for himself. Jub Imp ends up going down 2, and Yustin in the back line, as Seymour still trying to avenge his dead teammates, as he also gets demech'd and now is in baby form. And the payload for Northwood has reached its final point, or not final point, but its first point. Jub using his wall hacks here. That's Widow's ultimate. Just trying to take out some opponents, and he does end up sniping the Anna. But he's just kind of waiting for her to move across from the shield. Hasn't done it just yet. Now Jub ends up going onto the floor. Tries to get out of harm's way, but this is another weird location that is hard to hold. Reminds me of Junkertown a whole lot. So if it is literally almost the exact same, then Northwood should be able to push through this point pretty easily. However, for the time being, Yustin does grab 1 kill for himself. The mech, or the Diva ult, is available for Seymour, as he does end up flying it in and gets 1 for himself. Farah ends up going down. It's a huge key priority member. Prince Wada takes down one for his troubles as well, as now Seymour is inside of not enemy lines, but he's kind of on a solo mission, trying to play snipe shooter Diva, which I don't know how well that works, but Northwood does get pushed off of the point, as well as now it's a 1v1 between Anna and Anna, and that's just going to be Anna winning that trade, of course, at the end of the day. But now looking onto the point, Northwood, they do want to try and push this as fast as possible. They're going to be able to do so, at least from the grasp of what St. Clair have been trying to defend so far. Crypto ended up going down early on here with 60 seconds remaining. Just like the announcer said, break it down has been used here on the field, but it doesn't really allow any of these guys to survive. Also being sleeped is gonna be the Farah, and that allows Prince Wada to absolutely go on a rampage. But Yustin also wanting to still stay in that backline, heal his allies, my bad, but also try and deal damage to his opponents. And so far, not able to do too much, but Crypto does end up taking kill for his troubles. Of course, the bans have switched over this week, so now they're allowed to play really whatever they want. I believe the tank that got banned was a reset, because I haven't seen her just yet. But here in this match, Crypt ends up going down, but the rest of St. Clair have been pushed back, and all Northwood would have is 13 seconds if St. Clair do want to stay on this point, but no, it's gonna reach the checkpoint itself. But this point is really hard to take. The third point on Havana is really, really hard, because getting around these two corners is difficult as well. The spawn for St. Clair is so incredibly close to the actual payload itself, so it's really easy to reset. Just gotta watch out for this. But now looking at what Northwood have to climb here, at least the mountain that they have to climb. The first one was getting out of spawn, which I never thought I would say, but the second one is going to be wrapping around the corner. Seymour now dropping a Diva Bomb with 2. Takes down both of the tanks as well. Jub waving, realizing that he is getting spectated. But Crypto onto a main priority member. Takes him down 2. Crypto actually now with 2. Seymour does end up flying off the ledge here. Maybe that was a mistake, maybe it wasn't. But Jub now pulling out his American sniper type skills. Takes down May. Never thought I would say that either, because May is really hard to kill, at least at these high ranks. But hey, the flex, if you got the flex, then you can definitely use that to your advantage. But now looking for his third kill here of the point. It wants to be at least on the Mercy, as she ends up going really low, but Jub ends up 180ing and just takes down his opponent now with 4 here on this point, looking for his 5th, and he's definitely going to find it. He's popping off on Widowmaker and has a little bit of healing for himself, so he's able to stay alive. Pixel peak type maneuvers allow him to absolutely pop off. This is so incredibly cool. We get to see Jub really pop off for himself, and he now has his ultimate available, so he gets to see where exactly his opponents are coming from, and it's really, really useful for himself too. Blizzard has been activated on the point here for Crypto, as they're trying to freeze up whoever they can. Prince Wada does take down one, as they are looking for those long range shots. Jub not finding anything just yet, as he's trying to log on to one of the heads here of Northwood, not finding anything just yet. But the rest of the members on the point itself are absolutely popping off, because the overtime has been sounded, and they are just waiting to see where these opponents want to be dying left, right, and center from. So far, he's not been able to find, at least Seymour hasn't been able to find anything just yet, but Jub definitely has, as he's sitting in his castle as the king of this match, and he's currently taking down a couple of these members. Crypt ends up coming from that left-hand side, trying to just freeze up as many members as possible, but it's going to be on the back of Prince Wada's Shatter that allows St. Clair to hold this point. Now they have the advantage for themselves to try and push this payload as fast as possible. Oh! Rat God, baby.
Initiating match.
Oh, gotta reset. Big old resets are going to be coming through from St. Clair as we take a look once again at this map and the progression that Northwood ended up applying. So far, it was a pretty good layout for themselves. A whole lot of damage across this map has been done. Northwood have shown their skills as a team that can fight if given the potential, but St. Clair just kind of better. The hold on that third point is the one thing that we have to realize that was massive as well. Keeping your opponents inside of their base was a skill I never thought St. Clair was going to be able to pull off twice in a row, but they have. Now they get to push versus Northwood's defense. So far out of Northwood, they're kind of playing the exact same comp here that they've been playing throughout this match. So nothing too much is changing. But now this is time for St. Clair to step up and continue their aggression. It's going to start off the back. It's going to start off the back of Crypto as well as Jub. Jub still staying on Widowmaker is huge here too, but they've already gotten farther than Northwood, at least in the first couple of seconds. Northwood holding more so behind this choke, and they've given St. Clair a whole lot of ground so far. Definitely 22 minutes to start off this round, but Crypto ended up taking out one here on the point, does end up stunning out one, but now is sitting on top of this May wall, trying to reset here, and does end up tanking a whole lot. Is going to be Prince Wada, as I believe he has still survived here in this match. Still, 3 minutes and 30 seconds has hit the clock, and St. Clair have already aced their opponents, as they are now going to go back onto the site itself and just continue to push it. Easiest job for Justin so far of his Overwatch career. I'll probably get an update from him soon, but he literally had to stay on the payload, shoot a couple of his teammates, maybe throw down a a healing grenade, and that's about it. But here on the point itself, about 3 meters away from the point being secured for themselves, and it's going to be on the back of Justin just eliminating May, and Prince Wada converges back onto the point itself, with the rest of Northwood staggering themselves, which is very interesting to see. They haven't held it just yet, but it's a 1-for-1 trade that goes down. Justin for a DPS is always a trade that you have to take for yourselves, as now they have pushed the payload over to the first checkpoint, and they now have 5 minutes to get past this second point, as Imp does end up not resetting, but he uses the speed boost to get his ally faster to this payload so they can now start to reset. But Crypto is in the enemy backline in Crypto fashion, and he does want to take out a couple, but he does also end up getting sniped in the process of his whole entire trade. Now with the reset coming through from St. Clair, they are looking for their own advantages with 4 minutes on the clock. 3 members are also on this payload, and Northwood does not want to defend it just yet. It's not being contested just yet either. But Phineas has used Flux that comes out of Sigma, taking up a couple, but not really doing too much for himself. The Shatter being used, but it's not really too effective. However, it has taken Northwood's attention away from the point itself. Jump takes down 2. Crypto now with 1 more. Prince Wada is in the back line, saying it doesn't even matter that I missed my Shatter. It took the enemy by surprise, and they're now looking for their final member, which is going to be, it's Trial? No, I don't know. One of the members of the Northwood. We're going to be winning anyway, so it doesn't even matter. No, that's toxic. I'm kidding. But now wanting to push the payload itself over to its destination with so many minutes on the clock here. Still 5 minutes on the clock itself to push the payload itself way more. But it's going to be Northwood that try and hold this advantage, but nobody's on Crypto right now, as he is in the enemy backline, and he's trying to take the shots on his opponents that are needed. Do have the ultimate that comes out of Seymour. Prince Wada does take down 1 right now, but High Noon goes through. Crypto with 3, maybe one or 2 more for his troubles. He gets 1 quad kill for himself, looking for the 5k, the 5-piece, but Seymour says no, I'm doing some UFC battling, takes down Phineas, wow, and pushes the payload over to its final destination. Jub though does end up going down. Northwood do not live this one for themselves. NACE Overwatch Cup. St. Clair take the first match decisively.
Play of the game.
Take a look at the play of the game before we head to break. It's going to be off the back of Crypto, literally in the last couple of seconds. Pulled out the High Noon. He got 4 or 3, and then 1 more here. That's about it. GG's to Northwood. You guys tried, but St. Clair's dominance still reigns supreme. Still staying in this match. Hey, you guys can tell that it's nighttime. Or it's sunset. Right there. Anyways, we're going to be heading to a very small break, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready for the next match. But, of course, don't go anywhere. We got some Overwatch NACE action coming up in just a little bit.